and profitability both locally and internationally. Jetters has served and worked with several organizations and SMEs over 30 countries and counting. Amazing. Very quickly. So I'm adding our guest tonight. Welcome everyone to the Insta Live Chat series. Just in case you're just joining us, I'm just going to wait for Ayo to join us and then we keep it moving. Just an hour. We eat everything, eat the meal on the head, and then we are done. So fingers crossed, the network would be on our side. Hello.
Hello, HR Tito. How are you doing, Debo?
How you doing? I'm good, thank you. It's good to see you.
I am. Same here.
Look at all them books behind you. Oh my God. Let me see if I can recognize any.
Which one are
Let me
you
see if I can
looking
recognize any.
for? Tell me what you're looking for.
Money. It's all about money at the back of those books, though.
No, because it's post-COVID now, so we need to start reading about money. So once I put that there, it reminds me of what to do.
That's good. So I guess that's your vision board, like it works out.
I'm telling you. So I put up what I want to read per season, and so once I'm done with one or two of them, okay, I can see somebody here. Daddy, yeah, I see
you. And Mrs. just joined. Hello, Titsy Tan. How are you doing? Look at smiles on your face. Look at smiles on your face. Okay,
yeah, I told you I'm pumped.
I know you are, because obviously Tutsi is online, so I'm guessing you are bummed.
What do you mean?
I'm just saying. So obviously, you know the drill. It's 1 hour, and then before we kick us on, and I just want us to just eat the lane of the head and keep it moving. So we're going to be talking about.
So basically, we have less than 1 hour, obviously, yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah, go on.
So we're talking about business leadership strategies during crisis. One of the things I've noticed, what this crisis obviously unexpected, and in the world of crisis, there are some crises that we are prepared for. And some crises that we are not prepared for, and some organizations actually prepare themselves. And these two types of crises, one is called the routine crisis, where we're able to prepare for it. We have SOPs in place and prepare for it. And the other one that we do not prepare for are called the novel crises. And I know that now that these crises are going on, some people are now beginning to see, okay, there are some leaders that are up and ready. And then they have used this time of crisis to judge their leadership skills.
Yeah.
So from your point of view, why is it important that one of the criteria we can use to judge a business leader in time of crisis is how they handle crisis? Should we at any point grow crisis leaders on the side and not pressure day-to-day leaders with crisis? Do you understand what I'm trying to explain?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I'm jumping into the middle of my note, so let's hope that. All right, but yeah, let me just quickly answer that. So for top organizations, what I would expect is they would have a specialized crisis team in a time like this that has varied backgrounds. So because crisis requires that you're tested from all fronts, and you really don't have template answers for just like you said, these are noble crises, these are noble challenges, these are noble things. It's never happened before. Nobody really knows exactly how to react. It's like, when Jesus was on the boat with the disciples in the good book, and he was sleeping, but they didn't know what to do. They're wondering, God, we're going to die here. That's crisis. So how you handle it? And he comes out and says, peace be still. And they're wondering, how can this man be still in the middle of a crisis? It's because he has the buffers for that. He understands that. He understands the storm. So I think for major organizations, first thing to do is, put themselves together. They should have a set of people who are specially trained, a specialized team trained to handle crisis when it occurs. They put them in the boardroom and they're able to, chart a course, just like what Dubai did. They put together a number of people. It was all desert. That's crisis. Just like, at the beginning, it was all chaos. That's crisis. But what did they do? They put together a team of people who started thinking about the future, solving problems that never even arisen. And that's how to solve problems. So I believe that, but for small businesses, obviously, and, line managers and leaders and all of that, you need to be trained to be able to handle crisis. If not, crisis will train you and kick you here, left, right, and center till you learn. It's just like a baby trying to walk. You are going to walk eventually, but you might, if you don't have help, if you don't have aid, then when they hold your hands and they teach you, okay, hold the table, all that, that tutoring and that help helps the child to walk faster. Simple as ABC. The motivation helps the child to walk faster. So for small businesses, this is the time you teach yourself by listening to, and coming to, training sessions like this and all of that. That is how you get on board, and understand how to manage crisis yourself as a leader. So I think those are some of the things we'll just do. So maybe, I don't know what the style is. Is it question and answer, or you want me to just go?
Because obviously I've jumped into the middle of your note. So I just want us to just what is it? I just want you to just teach us, because most of it, and not that you obviously started with that. And what I noticed during this when we were hit by this pandemic was everyone was actually just going helter skelter because we did not have a clue what to do, and obviously no one can prepare for something that that just came upon us like a flood. So it's not about teaching us about, okay, now that we have found ourselves here, what do we do? So I think just take it away from there.
Okay, so so maybe I should say hello world, hello people. COVID has happened to us. We've been shut down at home. We're confused. We're down. We are all in the same boat. Simple as I say, whether you're white, black, purple, whether you're right now here on this stream, and I hope you stay till the end, because trust me, there are quite a number of things I hope I'm going to be able to deliver and talk about in the next couple of minutes. So whatever color you are, or you end up getting to watch these afterwards, what I have to say to you is we're all in the same boat. I don't care what background you have. It's a level playing field for everybody now. And, it's like they've hit the reset button and we all have to go again. Countries and nations have to find solutions to problems they never thought existed before. But now that it has existed, we're now looking for solutions everywhere. So I'll say, first of all, that we find ourselves in what people call a state of VUCA. Now, VUCA, and that's volatility, uncertainty, complexity and ambiguity, and those four words mean almost almost the same thing, but they're different. Volatility, uncertainty, it's complex and it is ambiguous. So we don't have definitions for it. We don't have answers for it. We don't have a template to ride on this, on this sea. And it's troubling everybody, and we're wondering what to do. So people are looking for business solutions, finance solutions, leadership solutions. In government, they're looking for solutions. They're looking for health solutions. We're looking for accounting solutions. We're looking for all solutions, because it's like an earthquake has just happened, and everything is all over the place. So it's the state of VUCA, and like I said, we're all in the same position. And what we need to do, and one of the things, and this is a time at this time where, the new norm right now for businesses is unpredictability. You're not going to, and one of the things that I would say is that leadership for around VUCA, or for VUCA to solve it, it demands that we avoid traditional, outdated, mundane approaches to management or leadership and the day-to-day workings around your business or your brand. So if you were already used to the norm, you're already used to, I wake up 9 to 5, I go to work, I come back. That's been disrupted. So this is disruption of the highest order, and that is what VUCA represents. So VUCA is disruption of the highest order. One of the things it does, it avails us of several opportunities to now be innovative in a totally new kind of way, to push forward new ideas and find new solutions to new problems as well. So basically, the next thing I'll say is COVID-19 is affecting leaders in ways they didn't think it was going to affect them. True. Nobody believes we're going to be affected in these ways. One of the things I was thinking about this morning was COVID-19 affecting us in ways where it's affecting our psychology and our mindset. You have leaders who now struggle with believing whether they're going to hit their bottom line in the next quarter. Last night up until probably 12 a.m. and early this morning, I was working with an accountant of one of the organizations I work with. And one of the things we kept on talking about, we don't even know when COVID is over. So we can't plan for quarter one, quarter two, quarter three, quarter four. So while we were projecting and we were working on estimates, for the business, it was difficult to ascertain how much we're going to, spend on marketing, to spend on different other expenditure for the organization. Even the model had to be looked into and changed. I changed the model for that particular business now almost 4 times in the last 2 months to tell you exactly what kind of problems that we're facing. So it's affecting psychology. I'm wondering, okay, so if before you set a target to eat, say, let me just give a rough figure. Let me say, okay, 2,000 naira per annum. All of a sudden now you're having to rethink it and say, is this going to be feasible given the sort of challenges we have? I think we may have to rethink this. And, maybe we'll have to look at how maybe we can make half of that or a quarter of that. Those are some of the things and the ways it's affected business leaders, founders, CEOs, directors, line managers. It's affected all of us in the way we're able to make sound judgment. Sound judgment has become almost impossible for businesses. And I'm going to give examples of that. So right now we're left with rash, emotional decisions, knee-jerk approaches to things. You can look, case in point, Access Bank. They came up and there was a video that went viral and they said, oh, we're going to fire 75% of our staff. Before this time, you would never have seen that sort of response to a regular challenge. They faced all manner of challenges, CBN challenges, world, the capital market in the world, and all of that, all the investments and all of that had been affected at one point or the other, but probably not at this level ever before in the history of probably the bank. Now, they had to come out and make such a statement, although they've come back to refute that, and say, oh, no, it's not going to be that bad, blah, blah, blah. But what that shows us, the video had already gone viral. What that tells us is those are the sort of conversations that have been had at boardrooms. Those are the sort of decisions that people are making and decision makers are making across the world over. Those are the sort of decisions they're making. Exactly. So because they're not thinking really critically, because they also do not know. Even the biggest experts do not know. So very many people are not trained for such a time as this, or an eventuality that would lead their businesses, their organizations, their personal brands into a season or a time such as this. No, they were not prepared for this. And because of that, they're making terribly wrong decisions. And I have to say that, psychology, and mindset plays a huge role when it comes to business. It plays a huge role whether you're downsizing or you're thinking of downsizing now, because a lot of people are talking about it. You're also thinking about it.
Yes.
Consciously or unconsciously. So for your business, you're thinking about it. So if you have 10 staff, you're thinking, when we resume, that client, we've not retained this client, or this client hasn't kept us on retainership. Because of that, I might have to cut down on the number of people that I hire. And because of that, you're being affected. And I'll say this to whoever is watching right now, this may not be for everybody. You don't probably need to make such decisions. Now, for example, the agricultural, agricultural sector, or the e-commerce and all that, they might need to hire more people. So you can afford to make decisions based on what you hear or some of the things you've heard someone say, even over the news, even over credible stations, on credible stations rather, like CNN or BBC's. You can't make quick decisions. You can make such decisions because you've just heard that, oh, this sector is going to be affected, and all of a sudden you've made your decisions. That is not how you should decide and walk through the season. First is to help, and one of the things I read something there and I said, what's going on through your mind about your business should be your key business this season. And I'll say that again. What is going on in your mind about your business should be your key business this season. So you have to control what you're thinking about your business. That you hear that, we should fire. Is it the rational decision to make right now, or is it just an emotional decision?
Yeah.
And you have to make such by sitting down and calculating and doing, proper projections and all of that. And another thing I would say is who you're talking to about business solutions is key to your business survival this season as well. And this may be friends, mentors, it may be books. It may be people you've never met. It may be a book that would help you through the season. But all you're talking to, what you're reading, is key to your business survival, your business appraisal, and your business revival. And those three things are important. How you analyze your business, which is appraisal and analysis, is very key. It's key to how you survive it, and then how you now revive your business. Because yes, a lot of businesses are already down 50%, 70%. Some of them are already dead. And you need to find out how you can revive it. But how you're thinking about it, what you're thinking about, who you're talking to will be key to whether you're able to now, revive that business, whether you're able to also critically appraise it. Yeah, please go.
Sorry, I was going to ask, I don't want you to repeat that. It has an effect. He basically said that who you're talking to and what you're reading
about business solutions,
about business solutions has an impact on the revival.
To your survival, appraisal, and business revival.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to get. So let me just put that again. Just anyone that's actually writing out there. Let us repeat that again. The first one is said, what is going on in your mind about your business should be your business this correct?
Business.
Yeah?
Should be your key business.
Should be your key business this season. Number two, who you're talking to and what you're reading, has an impact on your business revival, survival, and appraisal, correct?
No, on your business survival, appraisal, and revival. So first of all, you're dying, you have to survive, and then reappraise yourself, analyze your business, and then find out a way you can now revive it. And revival means, first of all, you raise it up, and then a proper resurgence of that business. So I think that's going to be
survival
key
first,
this season.
Appraisal second, revival third. Got it.
Revival third. Yeah. Because if you're dying, you have to survive. How do I survive? So first thing you're doing is, you're holding on to anything you can hold on to. It's not a time for analysis. If you're really dying, it's not the time.
You're not if
someone is dying,
just want to survive.
They'll put the gas on you, and then they're trying to bring you back to life. After that, they now find out what exactly is wrong with this person.
Yeah.
And then the last thing is, what can we do so that this person does not get into this state ever again? And those are some of the things that we need to, look into this season. So I think, yes, we can move on. I'll say this again to anybody, because the person running the business is key, and that's also part of what I'm talking about as well.
Yeah.
There are 5 major areas. I was listening to a stream 2 weeks ago, and the man said some of those things. I listened to this on a stream. I'm sorry about that. Nia Desoya was on that. Someone just called it. Nia Desoya was on that stream as well. But the man who hosted him said this particularly. One of the things they said was there are 5 major areas that were all affected during by COVID-19. Well, number 1 is faith. It affects your faith. Number 2, it affects your finance. Number 3, it affects your freedom. And number 4, it affects family and relationships. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit. And number 5, it affects your fitness. And this season, this is the season, number 1, of course, your smaller family within, family and friends and all of that, it will affect you. The people who you've probably not seen this season, and because of that, overthinking sets in, because of the emotional state you're in as well. People you should be networking with. I think it's a time to reach out, within the family, work on how, of course, you grow stronger, because that base is very important. this season, and I'll just touch on that. But the 5 are very key areas where we're all being affected. A lot of people's faith are being affected. So we've embraced fear more than faith. And that also is part of mindset and psychology. We're scared. Our mental state, and thankfully this month is still the month of mental awareness, mental health awareness, right? Our mental states are being really attacked. It's being really attacked because of COVID-19. A lot of people aren't functioning the way they should. They would normally function. And because of that, things that shouldn't weigh them down would weigh them down. So your faith and belief systems are being eroded, and fear is coming. Our finances, we're constantly spending money and we're making lesser than we used to make. Our freedom, we're restricted, and because of that, we have a way we're going to respond in different ways. Family and relationships, obviously, we can't get in touch with people who would normally. Some people would have traveled out of the country to be in certain places right now. So people are locked in places far away from their families, and they don't find it very comfortable and comforting at this time. And so we have been affected in several ways. And then fitness. We're all sitting down too much, eating way too much, and going through so very many types of. Oh, don't say that. Don't go there. You can't call me fat, right? Because I'm not. Oh. But of course, my wife has been complaining and saying that, of course, I'm eating way too much. But let's not go there because I think she's somewhere on this trip.
That's right.
So anyway, we're in 5 major ways we're being affected. And we need to find a way to deal with that. And one of the major ways, of course, to deal with that is, understanding where you are in your mind. And your psyche, understanding where you are there, knowing how you deal with it first, because as a leader, first of all, your mental, spirit, soul, and body, you need to take care of it before you're able to perform any task whatsoever. It is what you have that you can give. You can't give, a man cannot give what he doesn't have, So out of the abundance of what we are thinking is what you're given. Out of the abundance, it's what you're becoming is what you can give to the world as well. So I think that's very key with regards to the person and the personality behind the business, behind that job title. If you're a line manager or CEO, director, it doesn't matter. Everything, all of that is key. Your person, your health, your wealth, your well-being rather, is key to how you're able to grow this season. Another very quick thing I'll talk about, since I've talked about the person and the 5 major ways we're being affected this season. And I think Kemi joining the. Hello, how are you doing?
Hey, Kemi, it's good to see
you. Thank God. Okay, so I was going to talk a little bit about the gig economy, and I know 1 or 2 people have talked about that, but I'm going to digress a little bit tonight, and hopefully in the next 1 or 2 minutes I'll quickly talk about that. So what is the gig economy? And I keep getting quite a lot of updates here, so I need to take it off so I can see your face. So what's the gig economy? GIG is that's where we are now in the world. That's the sort of economy that we are currently operating, or we will be operating. For people, certain people still argue. Some people are of the school of thought that post-COVID hasn't happened until the world has found a solution. Other people have the opinion that post-COVID has started, and I'm of the opinion that post-COVID already started a couple of weeks back. And that means the gig economy has got into full effect. And I'll go a little bit into that, into how that happened. And I hope, I just saw that it went back. So the gig economy, of course, is a free market system where, of course, there are quite a lot of temporary positions everywhere. Organizations, they hire independent workers who work only for short term. They have this short term commitments. And the gig actually came from music. Quite a lot of people don't talk about that. Gig came from music. So I'm going for a gig. I'm going for a music gig. Yeah. That's where it started from. So it worked. It worked for quite a number of people in that industry, and then we started to adopt that. So be careful. Okay. Anyway, other people will watch this. Okay, so delete that comment before we get angry. Anyways, and gig workers generally are independent workers or independent contractors. in this modern age, they sign agreements with organizations to be able to work with them. You know, probably in the past there was not really formal agreements in place, but now agreements are in place. Some of them are soft contracts that's mostly done by facilitated by and made possible by technology. So you can be somewhere in Pakistan and I'll hire you for a job, you know, and all of that, you know, and those are some of the things that happen. So like I said earlier, it's moved from music to tech. So moved from music, we used to be in music, it was a terminology in music, now it's moved to tech, where we now are maybe web designers and mobile app application designers or developers rather, and graphic designers and all of that. And now it's moving to other industries. And I'll give an example of what I think the future holds for us. So it's been working in places like India, Pakistan, USA, China, you know, and it's moving gradually. It's going to move. Well, we're going to see a whole lot of that in the next couple of months. Write that down. It's going to a whole lot of that in the next couple of months in other sectors that we didn't think it is going to thrive. And I'll give an example. You know, on Monday, I was having a chat with my elder sister, who's a fashion person, and one of the things we talked about particularly was on this. And while we're talking about quite a lot of things, how technology will impact the banking industry and other sectors. And I was giving some major insight in that. I won't be going into that today. You know, and what the future was, because prior to that, I was having a conversation with a friend of mine who was a top HR person in a bank, in the banking industry. And while we were talking, we talked about quite a number of things that's going to happen and how people are going to lose jobs. And thankfully, you're the HR tutor, so we could talk about that. You know, how people are going to lose jobs and what's coming and all of that. And we got to a point where I started talking about, you know, freelancers and all of that. And one of the things I said to her is, very soon we're going to see fashion agencies, as in fashion agencies. We're going to see organized agencies who you'll be able to outsource to completely, who would say to you, I'm not concerned about, you know, working and looking for customers. What I want to be able to do is work with other companies like other fashion organizations who would give me jobs. I would do it, and then maybe we can FaceTime or chat or whatever, and you see the progress of your job. Or I can do videos, and maybe every 2 days. If you're supposed to deliver in 6 days, they give you updates probably every day or every other day, and you see the progress of the job. You know, you can do your drafts and all of that on your design, and you send it. You send the soft copy. And I've done some training in the fashion industry on what tech looks like, and I hope maybe it's time to even bring that online now. You know, I've done about 3 or 4 talking to the creative industry in the last probably 2 years now. And, you know,
that's actually amazing, because one of the areas now that most people more than ever before that we've actually obviously felt that we've actually felt in this climate that nobody can work from home was never one of the things that we ever considered. I remember going for an interview, and one of the things I actually asked her was like, can I work from home for like half of the week? And I was told no. But now that most people are now actually working from home in the fashion industry now, I think one of the things that they can be looking into, like, okay, outfits to wear while they're working from home.
Exactly.
Now that area that actually look into.
Yeah, exactly. So what the model I'm thinking in my mind, of course, in that line would now be something more, you know, of that agency really now completely almost working directly with customers, if possible, you know, and then they're working with other fashion designers. So it will move from B2C to B2B. So business to customer is the regular model we have now. So it's going to move from business to business. So fashion designer to fashion agency, you know, standalone, very organized, tech-driven fashion agency who can solve all your problems. You can put in your orders, send in your designs, and they work on it. And they can work on bulk orders, because they have the capacity, they've developed the technology to be able to handle that. You know, and we have some form of that, but it is not automated. And I'll give an example. In Abba, is it in Abba? Yeah. You know, they have a form of that, and I've worked with some people in the fashion industry as well, and they'll go to Abba and outsource to them almost completely, shoes, bags, and all of that, and they'll sew everything. The only point is it's not been automated at the moment. you know, and it's not really being looked into in that space. So why can't that sort of company come out and say, this is our agency, we have a website, and you can place your orders from anywhere online.
Directly.
You tell us the material, because they have access to material even there. And then you tell us your specification and your standards, you know, and we make sure that it passes your QC, you know, quality control and all of that. And then we'll send it back to you. And that is the kind of industry we're going to. So if you're a fashion designer listening on this thread, those are some of the things that would happen in the next 2-3 years. And so you can invest, instead of investing in all the machines, you probably have 1 or 2, and it does not take out, you know, take the place of you having to, you know, buy your machines and invest and all of that. Yeah, buy that if you have to, but make sure, because if you're going to scale, if you're going to solve major world problems, you have to solve it at scale.
Yes.
If you're going to solve major world problems, you have to solve it at scale. So if you're going to sew the uniforms for an entire state, you can't afford to be the only one sewing. You have to find a way that automates your structure and your system and makes sure it is flexible, and then you're very competitive. Remember, okay, for example, I was having a conversation with someone, one of the people who was bidding to sew the face mask for the entire Oyo State and also Ekiti. You know, and the person told me it's not something one person can do. So they started sourcing for people who were fashion designers who could do it. And, you know, as I spoke to the person, you know, one of the things we started talking about is, so what you're trying to do now is find lots of other fashion designers. But I now said, I watched a video where I saw someone, you know, they placed probably about 100 or probably 200 material on a machine, and the machine will move around, and if you can watch, man, and cut and move and cut and move and cut and move and cut. You know, the machine would work on probably 5,000 face masks in probably an hour, while probably 1,000 people would have to probably do that in probably 1 hour or 30 minutes. I don't know how fast they'd sew them. Let's even say in 30 minutes they're able to sew that, because now they have to cut accurately. You won't cut as accurate as the machine. You won't sew as accurately as the machine. And all of that. So there are quite a lot of things we need to look at. Disruption is here, and we need to make sure, you know, and businesses like that need to start looking at a way to be more economical with regards to their overheads, with regards to their running expenditures and all of that. And then to be more productive at the same time. So you're able to now make more money because you've outsourced certain things, and that's one of the powers of the gig economy. You know, that's the mindset that it gives to you. So the agency is powered, you know, by such a mindset, it's fueled by such a mindset, and that triggers, you know, solutions that they didn't know existed before. So, and some of the areas that you can see already, a lot of businesses are going into, but they need to take major advantage of, will be in the areas of face masks and scrubs and surgical gowns and PPEs, you know, and all of even medical equipment. There are people, we used to import most of these things. Now, importation has stopped. What that does is it has, as a matter of fact, you know, spawned people to now start looking for solutions in several areas. And I think that's going to be very pivotal to what we're able to achieve as a nation. If we embrace this as leaders, as business leaders, you know, as corporate leaders in organizations, and we're able to use that the information that's been provided to us by COVID-19, you know, analyze it, and then utilize the data, I think it's going to be very key. And I want to quickly move on to a number of other things because of time. Now I'm looking at time.
Before you actually move, because I know that we have I actually want to talk about one of your new projects called the Speakers HQ, which I think is very nature and something that should be spoken about, you know, tonight for everyone that's listening out there. Another thing I was going to say is, I know that part of people that have actually tuned into view this, they've actually joined us. 2 of them are actually fashion designers. So it's actually great that one of the examples that I've actually used tonight is in line with the fashion designer. So that is actually going to be
my wife is one. So
exactly. That's like she's one of them. Yeah. And there's a lady called Abike by Crip. She's also on. So I know that those 2 at least, if nobody gets anything tonight, at least you have given them something amazing. And it's amazing that one cooks your food, so she can actually get that for free. She can actually get more information. So I'm going to talk about Speakers HQ. Before I talk about that, I just want to enlighten us about Okay, I know you said it quite a number of things, and what actually has actually stood out for me tonight has been like, we always need, to a large extent, I know that we cannot be ready all the time, but we actually find out we should try and teach and learn. People that are big businesses, try and have a group of people that, okay, you people are going to be in charge when the shoes hit the roof. But also very quickly, I want to talk about the impact of coaching, and if you can just talk to us for like 2 minutes before we talk about Speakers HQ. The role, because what is the role of coaching? Because one of the things I found when I was researching about our topic tonight is there has to be a place for a crisis leader. There has to be a place for CEOs whereby they take a step back and just shut up and keep quiet and just give them time to think. That's also the place of like coaching, and I think that's what you also mentioned in the beginning, talking about like training. So I know that these things like crisis will impact coaching. So what other things would, like, as a leader, you need to be equipped with to be an effective crisis leader in your business organization?
Okay, so do you want me to jump to that, because that's okay.
Yeah, that's already.
So let me quickly.
Really?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's just I can.
Okay,
prepare.
let's hear it.
Because
I really want to talk about.
I was thinking about that.
Tonight.
Okay, so first of all, one of the things I would say is for a leader. Sorry about that. I have a number of things coming up on my. For a leader this season, one of the key things I'll say, and I'll probably talk about 2 or 3 things very quickly. I'll talk about Speakers HQ. Maybe I can talk about. I want to talk about some 4 major things that we need to look into this season for your brand. But let me quickly talk about this. One of the key things.
You can say, but just give us like a bullet point. I will just jot it down. Everybody.
Yeah. Okay. So let me touch that, and then let me now answer your question. So 4 key things I think you should be looking at. We already know that this is catch-up season for yourself and for your brand. There's borderlessness. We already know that you can do business with anybody and anywhere really in the world. One of the key things, number 1 thing you need to upgrade right now this season and work on, is content. And there are 4 C's. It's content. Work on your content. You cannot keep delivering old content this season. I had some content I prepared before. I have to go back and look into research more and work on your content. Number 2 is work on community. And I think that's why I went back is because community has to do with Speakers HQ, and I'll talk about that. And I can tie that to coaching, and then I could go back to, the skills leaders should embrace this season. Number 2 is community. It's very key now this season. If you're really going to go far, better go with the community. Go with a group of people. Right. And it doesn't always have to be people who even know more than you. They could be friends that you think you're all at the same level. But trust me, you should be ready. And when you embrace community with an open mindset. Embrace community with an open mind. Embrace it in such a way that you can learn from them, whether they're younger or older, if you feel they're part of your community. If you have 4 rich friends and you're the 5th person, you're going to be the 5th rich person. So community is great. Build friends, build a community of people who are on the same mission as you. That's extremely key for your revival, your survival, your appraisal, proper appraisal. I was reading something from someone, and she said, I hope and now she has friends. Now, she never used to have that. She has friends who she can share her earnings with, and they don't feel intimidated, So by the time friendship gets to that level, trust me, you know that your friends, all of you, you've grown to a level of maturity. You've grown to a level
and vulnerability of, as well.
And vulnerability, yeah, exactly. And you'll be able to deal with what's not working and work on what's working at the same time. Absolutely. Without bickering or jealousy or whatever it is. And when I read that, and I don't want to mention the name, when I read that, the person is accounting of Choma. I read that from her, and it looked, the person she was talking about the person's name is I think Nelly's, from Nelly's, she's what's she called? Niger Brand Chick or so. Yeah, I think that's it. So she was referring to her as a friend they could both share the documents and papers with. And when you have such people in your community, I think that's very key. Number 3, I'll talk about connect. This is a season to connect with old people and connect with new people. Reconnect with old people and connect with new people. That's very key, because I just want to mention that I'm not going to touch on that because of time. Now, number 4, which is the 4th C, is consistency. Now, this is the season to work on your consistency. So for your business, for everything you're working on, you've been working on, make sure you have consistency. You are going to be as successful as your consistency. You're going to be as successful as your level of consistency.
Sorry. Say that again. I don't want to miss that. You're going to be as successful.
Now, be as successful as your level of consistency. You can't be more successful than your level of consistency. You have to be able to show up every single time, no matter how you feel. Today, I felt very tired. I posted it, I had a very busy, lousy day. It was all over the place. I had to wear face masks almost through, and you can't breathe well. And I've not been going out too much these days, and all of that. But I had to just show up. I was ready for this. I was ready for tonight. I prepared documents. I could speak like this now, and I prepared for it. And that's capacity, and consistency. And part of capacity, and I think that's the last one. You can add that to your 5th C, and I've been talking about capacity for about 2-3 years consistently now, and maybe the 5th one I prepared for, but maybe you can add this to it. You can have to also build capacity, So while you're consistent, build capacity as well. Keep building your capacity. What are the things you didn't know that you need to know? And I said it in the stream recently, probably a few weeks ago. If they make an order from your business of 1,000 pieces of a particular product that you currently sell, can you deliver in record time? If you can't deliver, then start preparing. Because if you're, and I'll say that because of time. When I was talking to the accountant yesterday, we talked about that. If we're going to make 50,000 naira, and we say we have to invest probably 3 times 50,000 naira to be able to make 50,000 consistently for the next 3 months or 6 months, and we're going to make that projection. That means we have to be able to build capacity to spend it, and then to be able to also have enough staff to be able to deliver when the orders come in. So, if for example, let me use the example of an e-commerce company. So I sell soap, bar soap. So if I've invested in advertisement, I've invested in the production, in advertisement and production to be able to deliver 5,000. If 5,000 pieces are ordered now, can I deliver it? Do I have the logistical, strategies and structures in place? Do I have the staff strength to make sure that I'm able to also deliver that? Do I have every other thing to be able to deliver that? If you don't, that means you have to build capacity. On the flip side, even if some people advertise and market for products they do not have, and that's okay, but make sure that you have it, because once they ask for it, you better be able to deliver it.
Be able to deliver.
If you're saying, we can do gowns, we can do any amount of gowns, and you put it in your wording, and they say, we want 5,000 gowns now.
Can you deliver?
Then you want to say something before I move on.
Yeah, it also affects integrity. I was going to add that. Also, but I wanted us to just take you back just a little bit. We're talking about the 5. You spoke about content. You spoke about community. Content, community, connect.
Content, community, connect, consistency and capacity.
Can we add collaboration to that?
Yeah, that's part of community, actually.
Community.
And also, so somehow it can come in around community because you're building collaborations and partnerships, or you can now connect to new people and reconnect with old people.
Absolutely.
And connection could be in different ways and all of that. So you're working on your relationships and all of that, but community has to do with more partnerships, more of you saying, this is my tribe.
Yes.
But connection does not really mean you're bringing them into your inner circle. It means that you acknowledge them, that they have certain strengths, and you're willing to find ways where you can rub and learn and grow. But it does not really necessarily mean they're part of your, community. and you have to build community to be able to reach the world, really. So if you want to take over Africa, you might have to partner with 20 people and see them as a part of a community, and then build community as well. So, which is why, you know, for Speakers HQ, we have to build community, you know. And I said that even while we were having some of the meetings. Yeah, now I want to touch on Speakers HQ before I now quickly go into leadership.
Because you got, I'm giving you time for Speakers HQ, so I'm giving you four good minutes so I can round up. Good minutes.
Okay. I'm looking at the time anyway. Yeah. All right. So, you know, for Speakers HQ, you know, and I said what triggered that. I said that's why we have to build a community called Speakers HQ. You know, we looked at the problem and we understand exactly what the problem looks like. You know, we have several speakers in different spaces. Number one, they're not connecting enough. And then across Africa, there was no community. So this is the first of its kind. I know one or two people have tried to, or are trying to replicate this now, but this is the first of its kind community, you know, of leaders, you know, founders, thought leaders, speakers, you know, business entrepreneurs or innovative entrepreneurs, like we'll call it, and forward-thinking professionals, you know, around and across Africa, across this space, who would come together on platforms and then network and then, you know, work together and learn together and grow together. You know, those are some of the things that we are focused on. So if you're a thought leader, you're a speaker, this is where you belong. This is the community. So we found out that quite a lot of people as well do not have the publicity that they deserve or desire. They do not have the visibility that they deserve or desire, and we've listened to all of that. We've seen all of that. You know, there are quite a lot of amazing quality. Imagine this. You know, this stream was streaming to probably 5,000 or 10,000 people. I believe quite a lot of people will learn quite a lot of things from it, but we did not have the community. But now we do have the community, and that will be launched pretty soon. You know, and that's going to be very key. And that's why we have a Speakers HQ, a group of people who've come together and created this platform. Now, there are three of us. We have three co-founders. We have Kemi, you know, and we have Somi, who's also, both of them are great friends of mine. And we've come together to solve a problem that has beset us across Africa. And we know that there will be people tuning in from South Africa who may end up listening to this stream, and I hope they do, you know, listen, and I hope that you save it as, you know, on your IG live, so that, you know, that can a lot more people can catch up with this. Possibly,
absolutely,
you know, so that a lot of people can listen to this and know that we have a solution to that problem. There are quite a lot of people who've struggled to earn from speaking engagements. All they've done their life, and they're great. You know, have been pro bono. Now we have a solution in place. We have free, you know, packages. We have paid packages. You know, and we expect that they're able to come in. And then, first of all, we have a lot for free. I have to tell you that. We have a community, for example, on Facebook right now, and you should go and join that. You know, that's Speakers HQ Africa, Speakers HQ Africa, Speakers HQ Africa, and you can go and join that. We already are 26,000 strong right now.
Wow.
And so if that is where you should belong. You know, we have a Facebook page as well, which we're just starting, and we launched that just a number of days ago. We're already very close to 100 people who have joined us right now. On Instagram as well, we're growing that. You know, on Twitter, the Speakers HQ is there as well. So it's a community of people who want their voice heard. So and I see that Runkegiwa is joined right now. Good
timing, actually. Good timing.
I'm telling you. So, and we need people like that to come and talk about different things. And what's thought leadership? Basically, you know, you could be an engineer, you could be someone in the medical space, you could be someone in, you know, what's it called, e-commerce. You could be someone who's a professional and an expert in different fields, you know, in fashion, in tech. You know, we want you to come and talk to people. And there are organizations who hire people to come and speak. One of the things we will also do is find speakers who will see that they're doing very well and add on them, so to speak, you know, on our platform, and then be able to showcase them, first of all, and also be able to connect them with Speakers HQ with our clients. And those are some of the things we're going to be doing on Speakers HQ. So I think it's amazing. It's an amazing opportunity for anybody who's spoken before, who wants to speak. So it doesn't matter whether you have the experience and the exposure. It does not matter. Come join and learn from industry leaders or top leaders in your industry. And then also come and give. We want you to write. So on our groups, we're open to accepting content from people. So you can write content and we'll publish it on our groups. We'll also at some point, if you're paid subscriber, we might also feature you on our website as well. So there's quite a whole lot that we have in store. This is 10% of what we have. I've not even touched. I've not scratched the surface. I've not scratched the surface at all.
You know what? Actually, what actually reminds me of? Remember the good old days when we used to have comedy clubs? Like if you're like an amateur in a comedy club, and you come on to just show, and then from there, they train you, and then you become. Even the comedy legends these days as well. Most of them start from comedy club and come on. So I think that's an amazing platform, especially for speakers, because everyone now is online and everyone's trying to figure out, okay, now that most people are online, they need a platform. So it's so great that you guys have come out and you guys are creating this platform for people to okay, you think you think you're good. Think you're good.
Go on.
I saw that. I actually know. So I think it's
I'm coming to her with a gun. Tell her.
It's a fantastic platform for people to just come and okay, you know what? And I'm going to learn from the greats as well. And what they normally say, they say that other people's experience is the best teacher. So coming on a platform and getting to learn from thought leaders that have been there, done that, won the T-shirt, that you can learn from them, so you don't have to make the same mistake.
I won the T-shirt.
Yes. And not make the same mistake. I think it's actually amazing. Sure. I think one of your leaders, I'm not sure, there's a guy called Somi Adebumi that has been really nice and has put up all the websites on Facebook. He has put on the website, Speakers HQ.
I saw that as well.
Speakers HQ Africa on Facebook.
That's not been launched officially, but yes, you can start to. We're testing already. We are the beta phase, and that means that we're already testing, so you can register.
Absolutely. And it's also on Twitter, he's saying that at Speakers HQ. But who is this person though? Because it seems like, was it the person that you actually mentioned? Because it seems to know all the links.
I'm not sure, but it looks like he's impersonating the person I mentioned.
You mentioned, okay, just check it. Check it. But let me just we're gonna be kicked out very soon. But I just want to say thank you, because it has been in short time, we've actually looked at different things. You're giving us ideas. Like anyone in the fashion world now knows that we have to start collaborating. Let me look for people in my
I wish we had time, so
I know, because I know you have to get that. I just want to keep it 1 hour, and you've actually done a fantastic job at hitting the nail on the head about real life, giving us the tools. You need to be ready. This thing is affecting us.
Let me mention one quick thing, unless we have less than a minute. One of the things for leaders right now, one of the things I'll say you should learn is gain situational awareness. Know what's going on and take the data from that and apply it to your business and be able to make informed decisions. The second one is gain technological information. So what are the things you can do with technology that you're not doing? Start doing that now. So that's where I'm going to stop. We have quite a number of other things that I've mentioned for leaders in their businesses and all of that, but I think we've really done justice, and we've mentioned quite a lot of things. And for me, it's also been an amazing experience.
Spot on, Aya. You're amazing. Everyone is just literally just popping on and saying, well said, preach it. Also, yes, so amazing. Thank you to everyone that has joined us tonight. I think personally, for me, my goal has to be like the community bit, because I have been, even doing this Insta Live series, my partner has always said to me that, and Somi has always said to me that, just go ahead and just do it, because even it's one area that I know you to. Yeah. So 30 seconds more. I was going to talk about your gratitude, but maybe we'll come on gratitude some other time. But thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. But entrepreneurs, thank you for joining us. But you're like a bit late. But check out the replay, everyone that actually missed out on this. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you, everyone. And have an amazing day. Shout out.